I stopped everything I was doing to tell you this. Right now, someone is waiting for you, and God just gave you the order to move before you come up with another excuse to stay put. This isn't a metaphor. It's not some vague encouragement for whoever happens to be watching. This is a personal deployment order for you, sitting here at this exact moment, because heaven doesn't entrust its messages to people who won't deliver them. Everything is about to shift. And when it happens, you'll finally understand why it took so long, why that restlessness never left, and why you never quite fit in where you were. Stick around until the end, because before this is over, you'll know exactly who's waiting for you and what your very first step toward them looks like. This message doesn't start with comfort. It starts with a warning. Someone is waiting, and the only thing standing between you and what's been prepared is the next decision you're about to make. But before we get there, I need you to acknowledge where you are right now. There's a specific hour of the night when you take inventory. Not out loud, not in neat, organized words. It's that heavy silence that settles in when everything quiets down, when everyone else has gone to bed, when the screen goes dark, and it's just you and the weight of everything that hasn't happened yet. You look at where you've ended up, and you feel like something's missing. Not something small, something central. Like you built a solid house, but on the wrong lot. And during the day, you watch other people moving forward. You see people getting called up, recognized, sent out. People who were standing exactly where you were not long ago. And there's a question you never say out loud because it sounds childish, but it won't leave your head. What do they know that I don't? What am I doing wrong? Because the talent is here. The drive is here. But nobody's calling. You tried explaining to someone once what you feel you were born to do. And when the words came out, they felt too small for what you carry inside. So you learned to keep it to yourself. You learned to smile when people ask how things are going. You learn to say, I'm fine, while inside there's this sense of urgency with no destination. That urgency, that suspicion that you came for something you haven't touched yet. That somewhere, someone is waiting for an answer only you have. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. That somewhere, someone is waiting for an answer only you have. And that every day you don't go is another day that person waits for nothing. You're not crazy. You're not being dramatic. What you're feeling is real. And today, I'm going to show you why. Hit the like button right now if you're hearing this and you recognize that weight. The like is your public amen. Heaven registers what you confess openly. I brought you here because this word is for you, not for the person next to you. For you who has lived everything I just described and is about to discover that every piece of that restlessness was a direction, not a disorder. Here's what you're going to receive before this message ends. First, the restlessness you spent years trying to suppress wasn't anxiety, wasn't immaturity, wasn't a lack of faith. It was a direction. A destination was calling you, and you mistook the call for anguish. That changes now. Second, you're going to walk away from here knowing how to recognize the person waiting for you and knowing the exact first move to reach them. Not some vague list of spiritual steps. The real, concrete first move you can make today. Third, you'll be able to say, I know where I've been sent, without needing any more proof, without needing anyone to confirm it, without needing circumstances to line up first. The certainty will arrive before all of that, and you'll recognize it when it comes. close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. You've spent years carrying signs you couldn't name. Today, you're going to name them. Pay attention to the first one. You have a discomfort with the routine that used to be enough. It's not complaining. It's not ingratitude. You're still grateful for what you have. But there's a dissatisfaction that doesn't respond to more comfort, more security, more of the same. You thought it was ingratitude. You thought you were being immature by not being satisfied with what so many people would love to have. But what you called ingratitude was tuning. It was your internal system being calibrated to the frequency of the place you haven't reached yet. The discomfort isn't the problem. The discomfort is the compass. Second sign, you have recurring dreams. A place that shows up uninvited. A path you know by heart even though you've never walked it. A feeling of familiarity with something you haven't lived yet. You woke up from some of those dreams with your heart racing, not from fear, but from something like recognition. You called it a weird dream, a coincidence, an overactive mind. What it really is on the spiritual level is your spirit being taken in vision to where your feet haven't gone yet. Heaven doesn't make visits by accident. When it shows you a place, it's because something there is already waiting for you. Third sign, there's an attraction you can't explain toward a direction, a city, a type of work, a type of person. It's not passing curiosity. It's something that comes back, that pulls at you, that doesn't disappear when you distract your mind with something else. You called it a fantasy, an irresponsible desire, something that's not for you. What it really is an internal compass pointing toward where you're expected. It's not random desire. It's a call with an address. Fourth sign, doors are closing behind you. Things that used to be available are getting smaller, harder, less possible. Relationships that supported a version of you that no longer exists. Opportunities that seem to have passed. Comforts that left without leaving a forwarding address. You called it loss, punishment, a bad season. What it really is the path back being cut off. Not to trap you, but to free you from the temptation to return to what was too small for you. When heaven closes a door behind you, it's not punishment, it's protection. It's the guarantee that you won't give up halfway and go back to where you were before you understood what's ahead. Before the next sign, I need you to understand, what I'm about to say is what the enemy spent the most time trying to make you ignore. It's the scariest sign, and it's the truest one of all. The fifth sign is this. There are moments when you have the unsettling certainty that if you don't go, you'll die knowing you left someone waiting. It's not catastrophic thinking. It's a clean, quiet, devastating realization that there's a person, somewhere, holding a question that only you can answer. A situation that only you have the resources to step into. A calling that won't be fulfilled by anyone else because it was stitched specifically for you, and that every day you delay is another day that person waits. The enemy turned this sign into fear, into paralysis. He whispered that this is arrogance, that you're thinking too highly of yourself, that who are you to think someone depends on you showing up? But that whisper isn't humility, it's sabotage, because the sign is real, the person is real, and the order to move has already been given. If that fifth sign just hit you, write free in the comments. That's your confirmation that you're listening with the right place inside you. Deep breath. Because now I want to show you that this isn't new. This has happened before. And the story I'm about to tell you is proof that heaven has done this before. Sent someone without explanation, and on the other end, there was someone waiting with the exact question at the exact moment. There was a man named Philip. He was in a place where things were happening. A revival, healings, crowds responding. From a human standpoint, that was the right place, the right time, a flourishing ministry. And it was exactly at that moment that the Spirit told him to leave. not for another place of impact, for a desert road, a highway between Jerusalem and Gaza, which Scripture describes as a barren place. No crowd, no event, nothing that would justify someone with Philip's gifts going there. No explanation, no map, no guarantee of what he'd find. Just the command, go. And Philip went. On the other end of that desert road was an Ethiopian, a man of authority, of resources, who was reading the prophet Isaiah without understanding what he was reading. And the question was stored inside him like a seed with no soil to germinate. He had the book. He was missing the interpreter. He was missing Philip. Philip arrived. The question found someone who knew the answer. The Ethiopian was baptized at the edge of a stream, in a barren place no one would have chosen for a historic meeting. And a message crossed borders, reached Ethiopia, and planted one of the first faith communities on the African continent, which exists to this day. But it only happened because Philip went, without understanding the road, without seeing the destination before he got there, without any guarantee of what he'd find. The person who was waiting didn't come to Philip. They couldn't. The movement was entrusted to him. Now let me show you this from another angle. A seed inside a shell is perfect. It's protected, preserved, intact. But as long as it stays inside the shell, it can't germinate. To germinate, it has to break through the shell that protected it. It has to leave the form that preserved it. It has to accept that staying whole means staying sterile, that the destruction of the casing isn't the end of the seed. It's the beginning of the tree. You've been kept safe for a time. You've been preserved, and that served the season you were in. But now the moment has come when staying in the shell means choosing sterility. Now the moment has come when breaking through is the only way to become what you came to be. The shell didn't fail in protecting you. It fulfilled its purpose. And now the next stage requires you to leave it. Like Philip and like the seed, you were sent before you understood the destination. You don't need to see the full tree to break through the shell. You only need to take the first step out of the casing that's kept you safe until now. If you recognized yourself in Philip, if you recognized yourself in the seed, write in the comments the word that just came to you. Sent or messenger. Write the one that resonated deepest. Let me stop for a full minute, because you need to see what's true about you before we continue. You've spent years feeling like you came for something greater, not as arrogance, but as weight, like a position you never asked for, but that seems to have been attached to your name before you understood what it meant. You carried this without being able to explain it to people who asked. The signs you just recognized aren't accumulated coincidence. They're a sequence with meaning. Every discomfort, every dream, every unexplainable pull, every door that closed behind you, every unsettling certainty that someone is waiting. They didn't happen in isolation. They form a direction, and what seemed like restlessness was the voice of someone waiting on the other side of your next step. Not a vague feeling that things could be better. A voice, a real need, a person or situation that's incomplete because you haven't arrived yet. The person waiting for you isn't coming to you. The order to go was given to you. What you're about to hear isn't a human title. It's what I call you when I speak to heaven about you. You are the called from afar. I saw every time you felt out of place. Every meeting where you were left out of the conversation because you didn't belong in that space. Every group where you forced yourself to fit and left more exhausted than when you arrived. Every moment you looked at your surroundings and had the quiet sense that you were born in the wrong place, at the wrong time, among the wrong people. I saw. And what you called a defect was a difference in destiny. You never belonged nowhere. You belong somewhere else. A place where what you are makes complete sense, where your edges fit naturally, where no one will ask you to be smaller to fit in. What this identity authorizes is for you to stop trying to fit where you never belonged. Stop the effort of adjusting your shape to spaces made for other people. You were made for another destination, and it's waiting for you to recognize that. You are the sent one. I saw the restlessness that won't leave you alone. Not the kind that fades after a day off, after a week of vacation, after a change in routine. The other kind. The one that comes back the next day, the next week, the next year, with the same intensity, pointing in the same direction. I saw when you tried to drown that restlessness with more work, with more distraction, with more reasons to stay where you were. I saw when it came back anyway. Because it's not neurosis, it's a calling. And a calling doesn't quiet down with distraction. It only quiets with obedience. What this identity authorizes is for you to start moving. Not when you're ready. Not when the whole road is mapped out. Not when the guarantee comes before the step. Now. In the direction of what you already know, without demanding to understand what's 2 steps ahead. The sent one doesn't need to see the full destination. They only need to obey the next step. You are the expected one. I saw that there's someone whose meeting was sealed to happen through your going. Not as a possibility that might materialize, as a certainty that's only waiting for your movement. There's a person carrying a question, a need, a situation that only gets resolved when you arrive. Not because you're the only capable human being on the planet, but because you were chosen specifically for this specific meeting. What that person needs is in you, and they're waiting without knowing exactly what they're waiting for, but waiting all the same. What this identity authorizes is for you to stop seeing yourself as someone who's arriving late. You're not arriving late. You're arriving right on time, by the exact path. The place is reserved. No one took it. No one can take it. When you get there, they'll recognize in you what they've been waiting for, even if neither of you can explain how or why. From displaced to called from afar. From restless to sent one. From late to expected one. That's what changes when you understand who you are. Write in the comments the name of the identity that just came to you. The called from afar, the sent one, or the expected one. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. This is the community of those who were called and decided to go. Now I want to give you something concrete. No more signs to recognize. No more stories to understand. A protocol. 3 real steps in the right order to make the first move toward whoever's waiting for you. This protocol is called the order to move. First step. In silence before anything else. Before analyzing, before planning, before checking if it makes sense. Ask for the direction to be revealed. A person, a place, a concrete step. And when it comes, write it down. The first thing that comes. Before your analytical mind jumps in with all the reasons it doesn't make sense. Because revelation comes before understanding. It always has. It always will. What Philip received was, go to the desert road. No more details. He wrote down what he heard and went. You do the same. Second step. Name the single real movement you can make in the next 24 hours toward that direction. Not the full plan. Not the long-term strategy. The smallest possible step that's real and verifiable. A trip you know you need to take and have been putting off. A message that's been sitting in your drafts for weeks. A yes you've been holding back on, waiting for more certainty before giving it. A conversation you've been avoiding because you don't know how it will end. A single step. Small enough to take today. Real enough to actually do. Third step. Surrender the specific fear of arriving too late. That fear has a name. What if I go and the window has already closed? What if the person doesn't need me anymore? What if I hesitated too long and missed my moment? Surrender that fear now. Out loud if you need to. And commit to going even without a guarantee of what you'll find on the other side. Because the guarantee doesn't come before the step. It comes during. Philip didn't know what he'd find on the desert road. The seed doesn't know what will sprout before it breaks the shell. and you won't know what's waiting for you before you move toward it. The confirmation sign that you've received this protocol isn't euphoria. It's not that racing heart of excitement that fades by the next day. It's quietness, a serene certainty, almost too simple of, it's that way. Like you already knew and just needed permission to go. When that sign comes, you won't need anything else. If you're receiving this protocol now, write "received" in the comments. This record matters. But before you go, I need to warn you about what's coming in the next 72 hours after you watch this message. 3 things will be launched against you, not as a possibility, as a certainty, and you'll recognize them because they've shown up before. Only this time you'll know their names. The first is called comfortability. It won't come as an obvious temptation. It'll come as reasonableness. As the voice that says, things are fine where you are, why risk changing now? Look at what you have here. Look at what you could lose if you leave. Isn't it irresponsible to leave the safe for the unknown? It will use your sense of gratitude against you. It will make stability look like virtue and movement look like recklessness. Its weapon is the comfort zone, wrapped in the language of wisdom and maturity. The second is called paralyzing perfectionism. This one comes as spiritual prudence, as the voice that says, wait until you're fully ready. Wait until you have absolute certainty before taking any step. Study more, pray more, prepare more, and after all that, maybe it'll be time to go. And you'll keep waiting, and the day of being fully ready will never come, because no one who was ever sent anywhere was fully ready when they left. This voice's weapon is making preparation look like the destination and movement look like rushing. The third is called comparison. This is the most brutal of the 3. It comes as an objective analysis of reality. Others got there a long time ago. You're behind. The ones called with you are already fulfilled. For you, the time to go has passed. You missed your window. It will put others in the foreground and make you feel like your timing is a character flaw. This voice's weapon is using someone else's journey to convince you that yours no longer has value or possibility. And after these 3 comes the internal enemy. The voice that doesn't sound like an enemy. That sounds like maturity earned through years of experience. Like a wiser version of you who learned not to get fooled by dreams that never materialized. It whispers, if it were really for you to go, it would have happened on its own. The right things come without this much struggle. What you're feeling is anxiety disguised as a calling. Stay quiet where you are and wait for the right time to come. This voice is the most dangerous because it uses your own vocabulary. It knows how you think. It knows what convinces you. It will use your own spiritual language to keep you exactly where you are. But now you know their names. And what you name, you don't blindly obey. Write protected in the comments. The decree has been sealed over you. Now I need you to do something before we finish. Put your feet flat on the floor. Both feet, firm, feeling the weight of your body grounded. Open one hand and place it over your chest. Drop your shoulders. Not like someone surrendering to something heavy, but like someone preparing to take a step. Like someone who's been called and is responding. There's a weight you've been carrying that's not yours to carry anymore. The weight of taking that nightly inventory of what hasn't arrived and waking up with the feeling that you're wasting what you came to be. The weight of watching others get called while you're left out. Waiting for a summons that doesn't come. The silent shame of knowing you should have gone before and didn't. The fear that it's too late. That the person who was waiting has already given up waiting. That the window closed while you were still deciding. I'm asking you now to let go of that weight. Out loud if you can. Say, I let go of the weight of feeling late. I let go of the shame of staying when I should have gone. I let go of the fear of arriving too late. Now I want to speak directly to you. I know about the nights when you opened the inventory of what hasn't arrived and closed it, feeling like you were wasting what you came to be. I was in those nights. I saw when you looked at others being called, and the question got stuck in your throat because it seemed too childish to say out loud, "Why them and not me?" I heard that question even when you didn't say it. I saw all of it. And I want you to know something that has no exceptions. Nothing that is yours has passed you by. Nothing. No one has taken the place that was reserved for you. No window has closed on what is specifically yours. The person who's waiting is still waiting. Not because they're stuck with no choice, but because the meeting was stitched in such a way that it only completes when you arrive. Not when someone like you arrives. When you arrive, with what you have, the way you are, with the story you've lived up to now. I didn't make a mistake when I chose you for this. I saw the end from the beginning. I knew about the years you would stand still. I knew about the nights of inventory. I knew about the weight you would carry before you understood what it was. And even knowing all of that, I chose you. Not in spite of all of it. Through all of it. Every night of inventory was preparation. Every moment of displacement was calibration. Every door that closed behind you was protection. That restlessness you tried to suppress for years, I planted it. Those dreams that came back uninvited, I sent them. That unexplainable pull toward a specific direction, I placed it as a compass inside you. Those doors that closed behind you without warning, I closed them. Not to punish you for not going sooner. To free you from what was holding you to what was too small for you. And now I tell you, go. Not when you're ready. Go now. Go with what you have. Go with what you know. Go with the first step you can take today. I'll take care of the rest of the road. Philip didn't see the Ethiopian before he reached the desert road. The seed doesn't see the tree before it breaks the shell. You don't need to see the full destination before you take the first step out of where you were. The place is waiting. The person is waiting. The meeting is waiting. And the only thing missing for it to happen is for you to take the first step out of the casing that has kept you safe until now. You are not the one who arrived late. You are the expected one, arriving right on time. By the path only you could travel, for the meeting only you could make happen. I sent you. And what I send, I sustain until the destination. Now say it out loud before you write it in the comments. I am expected. I will go. Say it again, with more certainty this time. I am expected. I will go. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. Write "done" in the comments now. Not as an engagement formality, as confirmation that you received the order to move, that you recognized who you are, that the message reached the right place inside you. And there's a specific person you know who is exactly where you were when this message began. Someone who's been feeling like they came for something greater and hasn't gone yet. Who takes that nightly inventory of what hasn't arrived and closes the night with the weight of what hasn't started. Send this video to that person now. Not after you think about it. Now. Because they also need to hear that they're not late, that the place is reserved, that someone is waiting for them, and that the order to move has already been given. The next video on this channel will continue exactly where this one left off. It's waiting for you too. You are not the same person you were when this message began. It is done. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.